everyone, my name is Sarah Burton and I make Disney videos. And today's video, we're going to talk about the Pixar Place Hotel. We recently stayed there in August, and so I'm going to talk about the theming, the location, the food, and whether we would stay there again next time. So when we went in August, there were a couple of reasons why I picked the Pixar Place Hotel. Number one, it had just been renovated. So it was like the Grand Californian was one I've heard a lot of great things about, but we went in August 2024 and the rooms hadn't really been redone in a while, whereas the Pixar Place Hotel and also the Disneyland Tower were some of the newest places that had been redone. And I just thought the theming looked amazing. The rooms looked so bright, fresh, and new. So, and price point wise, it is the lowest of the 3 Disney hotels that are near Disneyland. So, it's the most recent done, but also the least expensive. So it just felt like a no-brainer to try out the Pixar Place Hotel. The location is also really great. It is very close to California Adventure, which is actually, I knew would probably be my family's favorite park. It has a secret back entrance into the California Adventure Park, which is really cool. You go through a doorway, a gate, and enter through the back. And especially for when you're taking a break in the middle of the day, it was really nice at the end of the night and in the middle of the day to do that secret entrance in the back. I would say I have a whole video talking about tips for Disneyland and why rope dropping through that entrance is not something I would suggest. But if you are going to use it midday and at the end of the day, it's amazing to have that back entrance. And it takes literally less than 5 minutes to get to California Adventure. And with Disneyland, it was still less than a 10-minute walk. It was really close to Disneyland as well. Or if you wanted to rope drop California Adventure and go through the front entrance, which is what I would recommend for rope dropping, still it would be less than 10 minutes to walk to the front of the California Adventure Park. So I think the location was amazing. Now, of course, with Disneyland, you kind of have a lot of hotels that are off-property hotels, not Disney properties, that are also close. Whereas when I think you're at Disney World, if you want to be really close, usually you have to do an on-property hotel. So, it was really close, but I know you have other options that are close as well. So maybe, you don't have to do Pixar, but I love the location. So that was great.
I was also really excited about the 2 unique character experiences. They have Bong from Inside Out, and we did run into him, and that was awesome. The other unique character is Gardner from Soul, and he's sometimes playing piano in the lobby, but unfortunately we never ran into him, and I should have asked when he'd be there, but we just never happened to see him.
The other thing that came up with the Pixar Place was just the elevators, which is kind of funky, but the elevators had this feature where you would go and press the floor that you wanted to go to, and then it would assign you a elevator bank. So there was A, B, and C. And so you would say, okay, I'm going to floor 10. And it would say, okay, you're going to be on elevator C. And then it was trying to make it more efficient. So like everyone that's going to row 10 or floor 10 would get on elevator C. Well, the only problem was people were not really understanding the process. So they would press it and it would say, elevator C. And then they weren't sure. They'd wait around a little bit. They weren't sure if it was really pressed. Is it really doing it? They would go back, they'd press it again. They'd press it again. So people were pressing it multiple times. And so what happens is that just kind of backs up the elevators because you're basically reserving like 3 different elevators. And it just made the wait sometimes for the elevators feel like it actually made it less efficient. And everybody was confused waiting for the elevators. So when you got on the elevator, it did confirm for you, okay, on the side there was a little thing saying which floors it was going to. And so you would just make sure it said your floor. But yeah, you didn't like get in the elevator and press your row. You had to do it on the outside. And I found that this was more of an issue if you're like at checkout day or rope drop. you're going to go in, you're on floor 10 or something, and then you're going to press to go down to the lobby, and it's trying to make it all efficient, but everybody's pressing it multiple times, and sometimes there was a little bit of wait for the elevators at busy times of day. So not a huge issue, but it was a little confusing, and I think some people found it a little annoying. The main downside that I found to the Pixar Place Hotel was the dining. So for Pixar Place, the dining is not run by Disney. I think it's like an outside vendor. And so it just, like, they didn't have Mickey waffles, or they actually didn't even have a quick service. So they had what, like a kind of quick service. So there was a place where you could get some items for coffee mostly, and then a few items, kind of like when you go to Starbucks and they have a couple items they can reheat for you. You could do that. So there were a few items you could get there, like milks, juice, coffee, quick little like bars or something, but it was mostly just like, oh, you could get a little pizza thing, but it's just reheating it basically, like at a Starbucks if you go there. So the food options at that quick service location were very limited. Then they also have a pool bar area, which that was nice. It did have some good food options, but again, you're going to the pool area, and the hours were limited with both of these locations. Like, I know the coffee place closed at like 6 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock. It wasn't even really open in the evening. So if you got back from the parks and you wanted something to eat, you really, you could maybe go to the pool area and pick it up, or you could go to the actual sit-down restaurant. So that was the third location. You had the like coffee area, you had the pool, and then you had the restaurant. The restaurant we ate at as well. So we ate at all three. The restaurant was good. I felt like, I don't know, the service, it was a little bit like there was nobody there, but it was a little slow. And it just felt like a normal restaurant. It didn't feel like a Disney restaurant. I don't know what makes it a Disney restaurant. Maybe just the service, and it just felt like a normal restaurant. And we had to wait a little bit, and the food was okay. It was good. It wasn't amazing. I think that's probably why it was a little empty and you could walk up anytime and you didn't have to worry about a reservation, is like, it's not amazing. So, and it's not cheap. It was the sit down restaurants. If you look at the prices, it isn't cheap. So I felt like, you know what, I really missed having a quick service place where we could order breakfast in the morning, from the, like, when I'm used to Disney World, I order it in the app, I go down and I pick it up when it's ready. And there just wasn't an option like that where I could get Mickey waffles for everyone in the morning or when we get back. The hours just were very limited. It didn't have like some of the typical Disney foods that we like. So it just didn't feel as Disney. So I feel like that was the main downside. I think Bethany Vinton had gone to the Pixar Place Hotel, and she said that was the main downside, was the food. And I would agree that that was the main downside. Would we stay there again? The rooms were in great condition. I loved the layout. I liked we actually had a theme park view so we could see the fireworks. A lot of things that we loved about it. I would stay there again. However, I think if we were to go to Disneyland, I would try one of the other hotels next time because I just feel like they feel more Disney. I would probably pick the Disneyland Hotel at the moment because, and stay in the DVC Tower maybe even because that was recently redone as of filming. If they redo the Grand Californian rooms, then I would stay there as well. I think that lobby and everything's amazing and the location there is great. But I think the main reason I would stay at Disneyland or the California Adventure is the food and just feeling a little more like staying at a Disney hotel when we are there, like our typical stays when we go to Disney World. So that is my review of the Pixar Place Hotel. I hope that's helpful for you as you decide maybe what hotel you're gonna stay at. And I hope you like and subscribe and stay tuned for more Disney videos.